Rahul, let me be very honest. I think on some of the most critical debates of the current Modi dispensation, all through the peak of COVID second wave and thereafter, if there is one channel where I was there 24/7 on zillions of debates with you, including some of the panelists here were there, and you were unsparing in your criticism. I don't think, it is worth somebody's while to call you Godi media. And look at the irony. We don't get any special treatment from Rahul Shiv Shankar, lest he be called Godi media, and because, he's not prone to not asking the right questions. And on the other hand, when I go to channels which are piddy media, they keep heckling me. And, they act like the Ramu Kakas of the Gandhi Nehru dynasty. So BJP ko to na idhar se fayda hai, na udhar se. Anyway, coming to the more important part of your, questions, I just have this to say. I've said this in the past also, that it is entirely, and I say this without any ifs or buts whatsoever, even Article 19, for that matter, even the First Amendment in the US, which is supposedly the Mecca of capitalism and the Mecca of free speech, even in the US, forget in India, where freedom of speech is guaranteed under Article 19, the same Article 19 also says that free speech is not absolute. It cannot function in isolation, in a vacuum, and is subject to reasonable restrictions of public order, morality, and health. So it is entirely the Modi government's prerogative if it has decided that the BBC so-called trashy piece, which goes under the garb of being a sane documentary, has to be banned, so be it. Point number one. Point number two, you brought up the question of the 1984 Sikh riots and the documentary, which was then published years later in 2010. Let me also tell you something more, Rahul, which your audience needs to know, and I've said this on umpteen debates on your show. Forget about that obnoxious statement, jab ek bada ped girta hai to dharti hilti hai, by Rajiv Gandhi, which was like, rubbing salt on the wounds of Sikhs who were burnt alive with tires around their necks. I have this to ask. Why was it that a SIT to probe into the 1984 genocide, I will not call it a riot, I will call it a genocide, why was it done only by the Modi government in October 2014, post which the key perpetrator of that genocide, Sajjan Kumar, was put behind bars? Yadi Congress is so pro-minorities, why was Congress so reluctant to take a decision to put Sajjan Kumar behind bars? And forget about Kamal Nath not being indicted by any court of law. The Nanavati Commission has not painted Kamal Nath in a flattering light. And Kamal Nath, as we all know, before he was ousted, was the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. And he rubbed shoulders with the Congress High Command on any given occasion. And let me tell you something more about free speech. These people who claim to be the beacons of free speech, Siddharth Shankar Ray was the Congress Chief Minister of West Bengal in 1975, and he used to physically threaten that people who write anti-Congress pieces, they will be physically liquidated, their offices will be set on fire. We all know about 1982, under Jagannath Mishra, who was the Congress Chief Minister, Bihar passed the Free Press Bill. And what was it? It was basically nothing more than a sham to actually curb free speech. Who passed the 42nd Amendment to curtain the right of judicial review of the courts and to curb free speech? It was none other than Indira Gandhi. Why was B.G. Varghese, the editor-in-chief of Hindustan Times, sacked only because he wrote an anti-Sanjay Gandhi piece? And all these people who said Nehru ji mahan hai, अरे आपके नेहरू जी के चलते for writing a small anti-Nehru poem, Majroo Sultanpuri was sent to prison for 1 whole year.
Sure. 2 wrongs.
On free speech.
Okay.